Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Legal Matters by Sai Baba Shankara. Today, in the Law of Torts, we will discuss tort of conspiracy. Conspiracy is a dangerous word. So, first of all, you have to know what is conspiracy. Conspiracy is an agreement to do certain illegal act, maybe by legal means also. Anyway, when it is please remember it is a person or plan plus combination. So when two or more persons minimum is necessary. When two or more persons agree to commit any harm, any act which results in injury or harm to the third party, to the other person, to the other person's property, to the other person's business, it is called tort of conspiracy. Please remember, the conspiracy, tort of conspiracy should be done by unlawful means. Then only it's a conspiracy. Otherwise, damnum sine injuria will come. So there will be damage. But if it is not legal, if it is not illegal, we can't do anything. So that is the difference between conspiracy and damnum sine injuria. So in a nutshell, please remember, conspiracy means plan for combination. So for what? So to see that the other person does not do the business. His business is reduced. Friends, this can be taken as a criminal case also, but it's very dangerous. Section 120A of the Indian Penal Code, it defines what is a criminal conspiracy. So please remember, when two or more persons agree to do or cause to be done any illegal act, or an act which is not illegal but done by illegal means. Simply to say, if two or more persons actually conspire or agree to do something, which act which is actually to uproot the democratically elected government, that is itself is conspiracy. 120A, 120B, they are punishment for conspiracy. All these things will be there. But anyway, let us confine to the tort of conspiracy. So conspiracy means, so here two or more persons should be there. They should agree to do some legal injury to the third party. For what? For diminishing his business, or for causing harm to him, or for causing harm to his property, like that. Simple. Tort or no? So we'll discuss a couple of cases. Important case. Crofter, C-R-O-F-T, Crofter Hand Woven Harris Tweed Co. Limited. Crofter, so this is a company, so they manufacture hand woven tweed. Tweed is used for that suiting cloth. In UK it's very famous. Versus Veitch, V-E-I-V-E-I-A-C-H, 1942. Right? Actually, there is an island called as Louise Island in Scotland, where certain mills, they were producing the so-called Harris tweed, hand woven, so hand spun. So normally, just like our Maggam and Khadi, like that, they are producing the hand woven Harris tweed. So this is being manufactured, or this is being made by Crofter company, right? Days have changed. So people, there are so many Harris tweed companies, but the other companies, what they did is, they used to import the iron, import the so-called tweed, and they used to supply at a lower rate. You may be knowing, if it is a machine made, definitely it will be for lesser rate. Of course, people use, they think only about the cost. So this company almost went into losses. But the union people, they wanted to enhance or they asked for the hike in their wages. Right? When the union requested for the enforcement of their wages, the mill owners raised their hands. They said, we can't do anything because our tweed is not going to the market, since because of the imported tweed, they are getting much more benefits there, so we cannot give you the so-called wages properly. Right? Now, the union, of course, the union understood the issue and put an embargo on the imports. So nobody should take the so-called tweed which is imported from other countries. So then normally with this the dockers are affected. Dockers means the persons working in the dockyard. They are affected because the import is stopped. When once the import is stopped, they cannot load and unload all these things. So this is the problem. So they stopped the work, and therefore now the petitioner, that is Harris Tweed, Crofter Company, so they have filed a case against the union that they have actually conspired and did this mischief. And of course, so the Veitch and the Score, actually this is a case against the union leaders, but the court did not agree because they asked for their demand. You did not look into their demand. Therefore, they asked the other people to stop the importing work. Normally, it is their right under labor law. Therefore, it is not a conspiracy. Negative example. We'll go to our famous world case, Mughal Steamship Co. versus McGregory Gow and Co. That is 1892. So normally, Mughal Steamship Co. was a very popular company in Calcutta, and they used to operate the loading and unloading charges. They used to fix the freight charges. So they are the dominating company. Ultimately, the British people understood the issue, and they have brought some English company by name McGregory Gow and Co. What they have done after coming, they have conducted some meetings. Ultimately, they are ready to load and unload the freight at a lower rate. Normally, the stevedores or the contractors, they used to go along with McGregory. There was heavy loss to Mughal Steamship Co. even though it was a reputed company. So, therefore, they filed a case that these British people or McGregory, they conspired with the workers or with the other stevedores. Stevedores means contractors in that port. So, and they filed a case. But of course, the court did not agree. Basically, here it is a case of already law. Damnum sine injuria. Damnum sine injuria. There is a damage, no doubt, but not legal. So, if anybody comes forward that he will supply the material at a lower rate, everybody will go and purchase it. What is that we can do? You also reduce your freight charges. That's what the court told. There is no conspiracy. It is only damnum sine injuria. We'll go with another case. This is Huntley versus Thornton, 1957. Right here, Mr. Huntley, who is a member of a registered trade union, actually, he refused to participate in the strike on that particular day. So, he wanted to go for duty. Right, normally, so thereupon this, the trade union members, they were annoyed with the attitude, and they have approached the EC, that is Executive Committee, and asked the committee to seek explanation from our Huntley. So Thornton and others, they went to the union and asked asked the union to call for the explanation of Mr. Huntley. But EC did not agree. After all, he is a free man. He can choose whether to participate in the strike or not. But so now they wanted to teach him a lesson. Therefore, Thornton's union, so they conspired and made efforts to make our Huntley keep out of work. They did not give him any work. So they made the union was so powerful. Ultimately, the company could not allot any work for him. So he was coming and going, but no salary. He has filed a court case. Yes, the court agreed and held that the defendants, Thornton and that particular union members, EC members, other members, they are held for conspiracy. Friends, this is briefly conspiracy. Please remember, it is only a tort. As a tort, I have told you, criminal conspiracy, lot many cases are there. Thank you very much.